Well, good evening. Happy Sunday. Let's taste this tea today. Delicious. All right, so come on in. You know, my name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 13 kids. I have 9 boys, 4 girls. I had a baby a month ago. She was blessed with Down syndrome, and we are just really enjoying her thoroughly. I like to come on every night, drink my tea with you, and I always bring in a new teacup. I have quite a collection, and I love showing it off, because who else cares, right? They've been sitting in the cupboard, and I wasn't even drinking my tea regularly, but this pattern is beautiful this evening. It's a Royal Albert bone china from England. Royal Albert, isn't that lovely? I love how it has the trim in gold and these gorgeous roses in the middle. They just make it so fun to sip out of. I'm drinking my red raspberry and mother's milk traditional medicinals, as well as that new one I've got, that sweet and spicy from Good Earth. And oh my goodness, what a dream it is. I just love it. So let me say hello and find out what you're drinking too. Hi, Misty. Hi, Christy. You guys be sure and put in there what you're drinking, because you know I love it. And even sometimes people put in the comments afterwards, those who are watching it afterwards, they put what they're drinking, and it's so fun. It just captures that feeling where you just feel that connection in a different way. Well, honey, this is the opportunity to rehydrate. Sit down, take a breather. Unless you're washing your dishes, then you're excused, but you should still have a bottle of water. I've got mine finally next to me instead of over next to the bed, because I've been trying to pound this. I've got to keep up with it to make sure I can keep enough milk. You're having iced coffee. That's fantastic, Christy. I hope it's yummy. You're probably sick of telling me that because you have it all the time. Iced tea, yummy. It's good to see you, Stevie. You hate water? Do you like lemon water? Or how about herbal tea? Or how about anything else? Even chocolate milk. Hot cocoa still at this time of year if you want. There's so many choices. Something's got to sound good. Or you could add those little add-ins that they have now. Aren't those wonderful? Like those raspberries and like you just squirt it in, or you do a little bit of powder and just flavors your water a little bit better, and that's always fun. I did my hair a little different today, and I pulled it back just a little bit, and I just can, I don't know if you could see it as much, but I could see the gray a lot better, and I don't really care about my gray hair. Like, I don't do anything to change it. It's good enough. But I think it's funny when you could see it. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, stay hydrated. Oh, they're not good? You know, have you ever tried it with just lemon in it? I just squeeze fresh lemon in it, and that really makes it more palatable for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing things just once in a while a little bit different. My husband is here today, so I couldn't pull it back too far, right? He worked a lot. We figured out he worked 6 out of 7 days last week, and that was too much for going right back to work. So he's not going to do that so much in that way for this week. So do you have any questions? What's on your mind, ladies? You have something you want to ask? Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Do you have any questions or comments that you'd like to discuss? If not, I've got a couple things I could talk about that I saw come up on a couple of videos I was reviewing. I'm kind of revamping my titles and such, because I understand that I'm not quite doing it right. And so, you know, I'll announce these every night as a cup of tea with me, chat with me in a cup of tea, but then I'll change the title to what our main topic was, and then add the cup of tea at the end. So when it's live, it will always start with a cup of tea, but I haven't finished because it takes a lot of time. But, you know, I'm sitting here waiting for my baby, and I only do a few things. Today I took down the St. Patrick's Day decorations. I thought that was productive. got the bed made, got ready for the day, got the kids ready for church, got them off to church. My husband had to teach the primary class today. When the kids came home from church, you know, they had lunch and we've already had dinner, so they're having a good time, just chillaxing. Oh, it's so yummy. I can't believe what a difference. It's good to add the second stuff. Hi, Aaron. CK popped in and a few others. Oh, I didn't want to Misty's here. And, okay, good. I got you guys. Just want to make sure. Well, you realize every time you try to drink water, if it makes you nauseous, that means you're already dehydrated. They say that means you're already a quart low. So try it. Find some way to get that down, because once you're hydrated, it won't make you nauseous anymore. But only when you are dehydrated. Drink it like with tea or with juice, whatever. Try to get some in you. I challenge you. Nice, Christy. I'm so excited you got your dishes done before I got on. I even got on a little early tonight. That's fantabulous. I always want to put live at 5, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't get on until 6, so that won't really work. That's just the way it goes, right? So I don't know if you saw, I know some of you made comments already, but I posted Millie Rose, the organization I did in Millie's room last week, where I rolled up all of her things, and it was just getting more complicated, and every morning I went in for the same things, and I was like, I need to just redo these real quick, and I redid the drawers and the blankets and the little rags I use and her clothes, because I could just see kind of where we're at and what we're doing right now with everything, and you know, I was motivated after I went shopping for her new clothes, so that was kind of fun to put that together, and I thought you would enjoy that little video. And so if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. I also did that video of shopping at Target when I picked up all those clothes. So if you haven't seen that, you'll want to watch that video. That's kind of a fun one. And then also you may as well watch the one when I did the makeover in her bedroom, because it wasn't always as cute as it is. You know, it used to be a shared bedroom with my adult daughter and my 9-year-old. And then we kind of changed it around, and I had a girlfriend give me some baby furniture. And I don't normally use a lot of baby furniture, but she gave me such a nice set, I went ahead and went all out and just put it along the side of the wall. And then it kind of ties in with the L shape of the closet where I put the baby's clothes. So you want to see that, and then you can check out how that room, and it's fun. So if you haven't seen those videos, be sure to check them out. As well as the birth video. If you haven't seen the birth video, you'll want to watch that. Yes, it's been a fabulous Sunday, Brandy. Well, thanks, Stevie. I'm glad you like it. Oh, good girl. Make sure you put some ice in it, too, because that might help make it more palatable. I know sometimes if I'm drinking lukewarm water, it's a little more difficult for me to get down than it is if it's ice cold, except for when I'm hydrated, I could drink it lukewarm. But when I'm thirsty and it's a little late, yeah, I need to do that. You're such a good girl, Misty. So how's that? Hi, Jesse. How's that shoulder doing, CK? How are you feeling? Somebody's awake, I think. I'll have to show her to you. Hopefully you don't miss her, Misty. I'm gonna go show you the baby because she's stirring. She might be waking up. I can't tell if she's just moving a little bit or if she's actually getting up. It looks like she's rooting. She's gonna be ready to eat here in just a minute, so I won't stay on too long. Where's your other arm, baby Millie? There we go. Hi, sweetheart. Let's wipe that eye. There she is, Miss Millie Rose. Let's get your hands free. and the other hand free. Don't you love the faces they make with their little mouths? Hi, Heather. We're just seeing Miss Millie. You're just in time. She just woke up. She's saying hello, so I won't stay on too long. But there's my beautiful bundle. I love how the bed gets all wrinkled after you've made it in the morning because I'm on it so much, taking care of her. Thanks, Christy. We're having a good time with her. She's a doll. Yes. That's right, CK. It's a good thing that I get to have a Down syndrome baby, because then I can help make people aware of all the things I've become aware of, and it's really great. One question that I saw that I had today that I committed to talking about that I hadn't realized I hadn't was that, is there anything that I wish I knew now that I didn't know with my first baby? And since I've had 13 kids, you'd think I've learned a couple things. So I thought of about 5 or 6 things right off the bat that if I could go back, what I wish I knew then that I know now. So I think I'll share those with you today. And then you can comment what you think, and if you agree, if you've already had children, or you can just take notes if you haven't had children, and you can see if you have learned some of the same lessons that I have. Like, the first thing is, I really wish that I would have figured out how to take care of me first. A lot of times I know I would be in my pajamas for a while before I took care of the baby. After I took care of the baby, and I would wait till the last minute, and I would only spend like 2 seconds getting ready, and I just always looked like older and haggard. I didn't know I could still look cute as a mom. I was kind of in the homely phase. So that's one thing I wish I would have known, how to keep up my game. I'm better at stepping up my game now. I wish that I would have known how to, I wish I'd have known about routines and how important routines are, because I would have had a better routine for taking care of my baby as well as taking care of myself and my family. I didn't understand how to incorporate all of those, and I think having routines makes me a better person, and it makes me a better mother. So I really wish that I would have known that. I think I could have helped my kids a lot more, my older kids. I mean, they're good at their routines now, but I wish I would have done that when they were younger too, especially the first few kids I had. I wish that I would have known, I remember I learned this after I had a baby, but my first baby, I remember the first couple of weeks she was born, I was afraid to touch her. She was so beautiful, so perfect, and I just didn't want to break her. I was afraid I would touch her wrong. And I remember when I was babysitting, I only held the baby when I had to, because I didn't want to disturb them. I didn't want to bother them. And now I'm like, give me that baby. I'll massage their arms, their legs, rub their belly, scratch their back, rub their head, caress their cheeks, give them kisses all over in their neck, their faces. I want them to get used to me kissing them and loving on them. And I just didn't understand that. It's a good thing, because my first baby's a type 4 and they like a lot of space, and she was okay that I wasn't doing a ton of that stuff. I mean, I was still touching her, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't doing it as often. And I'm more mindful now of things like, like I was good about it. I had good instincts. Was like I would, be careful with the way I move the baby or whatever. But now I'm like, okay, she's been on her belly for a while, let's turn her over. Or let's put her on her side and make it so she stays in that side position. Now let's turn her to the other side. I was good about making sure that they could lift up their head and turn it before I let them lay on their belly. But I wasn't so good at just being mindful of, that doesn't look very comfortable. Let me help her adjust that because maybe they're not real good at that. Or like I'm better at like laying them on a pillow where they sit perfectly and they sleep so good that way. I mean, I was good about letting them lay on my belly, but I just didn't make that connection as much just because I just didn't know. I wasn't as comfortable with myself, therefore I wasn't as comfortable with the baby. Does that make sense? Like I'm way more comfortable now and I don't mind how much of the baby's space I get into. Yeah, that was a thing you always thought. You thought you were not going to break her or you thought you were going to break her. Because it's so weird when you first are a mom and you're just like, oh my gosh. You're like, hello, I made this baby. Why can't I touch it? God gave this baby to me. I should be touching it. That's one thing I think when you're a young mom that it kind of does for you. It just makes it hard like that. Yeah, not going to break her. You always thought you're not going to break her. You had to tell yourself that, right? Like that's what I figured out. It didn't take me long, but I just wish I would have been more confident early on. Another thing I wish is I would have lightened up. I remember being so stressed about when my daughter was potty trained and if she was potty trained by a certain age and if I quit nursing her at a certain age. And I was just worried about certain things. I was worried if her clothes were clean and I didn't want her to get too dirty. I was very careful with her. And I was more proper with her, and I just didn't understand that I needed to be okay with them getting dirty more, and I just wanted to I wish I could have lightened up earlier. I learned to just let them be laid back and easy for me to be laid back and easygoing, kind of just go with the flow and not stress about things. Kind of like when you're first, you only have a couple kids and you take your kids on a field trip or whatever, an activity, and you're like hyperventilating if they've run off or if they, I mean, obviously you need to be careful if they've run off. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, within reason, you're just fretting about everything to where the kids aren't even having a good time and neither are you. And I really think it's important to just let kids have a good time. And I'll link that video below, the one where I took the kids to Sequest and I kind of give instructions on how you can tell if your kids are in a safe perimeter and where your eyes are. And it's good when you're in a locked facility, how to be careful with where you're going to keep the kids. Just so that you can learn when to have a leash on them and when to let them stretch that leash out so they could experience more. That's kind of what I'm talking about. And then I really wish that I was always thinking of the future and how things were going to be, and I struggled with living and focusing on the present and staying in the moment. And I really think that that's important, to just be present and mindful. And at the time, I didn't know how to keep peace and to stay in harmony regardless of the chaos going on around me. And if my house wasn't clean or my dishes weren't done, I was like stressing out and I couldn't appreciate the moment I was having with my baby, or I felt guilty holding my baby if I had a sink full of dishes. And I remember battling that back and forth, saying, no, it's okay if you hold your baby instead of doing the dishes. So then I went through a phase where I said, let the dishes wait. I want to hold the baby. It was just trying to find that balance. And I think routines would have really helped me if I would have realized, duh, it only takes 10 minutes to quickly load the dishwasher and get the dishes done, instead of thinking I needed to wait 3 or 4 days before I did the dishes and then it takes an hour. It's just those head games that we play. And you think about it, I just recently learned about how to accept myself and not need approval and not need someone else to tell me I'm doing a good job. I wish I could have just accepted myself and just been okay with me now instead of waiting till all these years before I had that final click that I needed. And the last thing that I really, really wanted to share was that I wish I would have had this book. This book obviously wasn't out back then, but I was learning this stuff on my own when I started letting my kids be themselves. But The Child Whisperer by Carol Tuttle, whether you believe in Dress Your Truth or not is irrelevant, because this book has so much information about kids just so that you could be a better mom. You can actually listen to Carol Tuttle. She has a podcast called The Child Whisperer. And this book, she talks about the 4 different kinds of children, and it just helps you understand their nature more, so that you aren't as hyper about it, you know, and you realize that the type 1 and the type 2s are really cuddly. Even the type 3s don't mind cuddles, but they're more rigid, and the type 4s are more, they're more of a, what am I trying to say? They have a harder time cuddling because they don't mold to your body as well as maybe a 1 does or a 2. And so that's something I would highly recommend. I'll probably put a link to that book in the description box below. But there are so many things that this book covers that I would really just recommend that. Yeah. So let's see what you guys are saying. Your husband was Heather says her husband was scared to touch the baby. Okay, water with Crystal Light brand wild strawberry flavor pack. How is it, Misty? Is it yummy? Are you able to get it down? Christy says that the advice, she gave her sister similar advice about lightening up. Her children are very young, and I have teenagers, and that's one thing I'd change. So I'd tell her that all the time, is lighten up. Don't take things so seriously, because you realize this time goes by so fast, and they're so precious. And that's what I mean, is I just really want to live in the moment and just enjoy the kisses and the cuddles and because you just feel like, even though I was a stay-at-home mom, I just feel like it left so fast. Slowly with ice. Well, good. Hopefully the ice helps you out on that one, Misty. I'm so proud of you. You good girl. Yeah, living more in the moment, Stevie. It's definitely. Okay. We can let that person go. Heather says her firstborn potty trained later, and people were always on your back because of it, but I didn't want to stress myself out when I knew she wasn't ready. Good for you. I don't know that I had a lot of people saying stuff. I just think I had a lot of expectations on myself because my mom was kind of high strung, and I thought I needed to do things like her, and it took a while before I realized I could make things my own way. I thought I had to do it her way. Even though she never said anything, I just felt like I needed her approval, so I needed to do it her way so I could get her approval. I just want to make sure that's clear. Christy says, what I wouldn't give to have my babies again. I miss those days, but teenagers are fun too. Just a reminder, they are growing up though, right? Fran says, it takes a lifetime to learn so many important lessons. Did not know about that book, but always considered myself a child whisperer. Me too. When that book came out, I was like, hey, I could have wrote that book. She just has it way more detailed than I ever did. Not bragging with everyone, says I have a gift with children. You know what? Me too. Me too. And I love it that my kids have inherited the gift because they understand to just be calm. Because, you know, I watched that. Everybody else would be like, your babies are so good. Because my kids they weren't, they were just all good babies. And that's really a symbol of a good mother. I'll see a young mom and the baby is calm. That's because the mommy is calm. If you're uptight, your baby's going to be uptight. If you're going all over the place and not calming down, that baby's not going to calm down. So I think it's important to check yourself and make sure you're relaxed. And when you can enjoy the moment, you become the greatest child whisperer ever, right? Babies just love that. There's just like a peacefulness about you, an aura about you. It permeates the whole baby area, and the baby just senses it, feels it. It's almost like that energy, right? It's just such a positive, comforting energy, and it's so lovely to just have. And my grandbabies feel it. They love me. They come around me. They want to be with me. They like to sit on my lap, and it's just so sweet. I just really like it. Yeah, so I thought that would be kind of fun to talk about, you know, just remembering to slow down and to just be really present in the moment for your children, no matter what age they are. I find that even with my kids and the kids who have grown up, you know, it's healing for them to see me with my babies, and they can remember how I was with them more that way. So it's just kind of fun. But you know, if you did a sucky job, who cares? Say you're sorry and try to make it better now and be a better grandma. And that works too. They don't always mind that. It ends up being a really good thing. Sorry about that. I just realized that the sun was going down again, so I needed to fix the light on the face. This is so yummy. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm going to have a second cup again. That's what I did the other night. I poured another, filled it back up, and I had a second cup. Heather says when her sister lived with her, her sister's baby was 3 months. She had a problem getting her to calm down. But she would just hold her and the baby would calm down and fall asleep. Exactly. That's good that you were able to be in the present and realize it's not that big a deal. Ooh, Fran Apple. She could calm those screaming babies that you see in airports and grocery stores. She could calm them in a hurry. I've even had babies reach for me in restaurants. Nothing I love better, having said that I wasn't a perfect mom. Yeah, but what a great compliment, right? I always get a thrill that babies talk to me, kids talk to me, they smile at me, they're like just receptive of me, and that lets me know that they know I'm safe, that I'm a trusted adult, and kids need that. What's that little saying? I'll have to post that on my Got Kids page. I see it all the time. The one about, you know, it's important to smile back at children, to let them know that there's still good in the world. And that's what I just love about when I see little kids that reach for me. And that's what Fran's talking about. It's just such a great thing to be an advocate for children, and that they can sense that they're safer with you around. And they just want that loveliness and that energy. So yeah. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Trinity? She said her husband has that ability and she just loves it. It's so sexy, huh? My husband's the same way. All my boys are the same way. I'm like, ooh, they make good husbands. My daughter-in-law is like, Iron Rod is so good. I don't even know how he does it. It's really cute. I'm going to double check these messages. I had top chat on. Now I have live chat. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. We have so many people in here. This is awesome. It's good to see all of you. Yeah, but that's just what's been on my mind today as I've been just caring for Millie, and I just watch her calm down when I put her in my arm, and that she just looks into my eyes and is making connections with me, and that she smiles for me, and that she just relaxes as soon as she's in my arms. It just feels so good as a mom to just know that your baby feels as happy about you as you do about them. And I'm not even her grandma. But it is kind of funny to me. Did I ever tell you that my son-in-law is a respiratory therapist? And he's actually a respiratory therapist at the hospital that my daughter's going to have her surgery at. And baby Millie's a month old. She'll be 6 months old when she has a surgery, maybe 9 months old, maybe 11 months old, who knows. Whenever she needs a surgery, she'll have the surgery. But regardless, that won't change the fact that my son-in-law is a respiratory therapist there, and that he's going to be able to tell everybody his sister-in-law is having heart surgery that day, and they're going to wonder where she's at. And when she's in the pediatric unit, they're going to be like, what? Won't that be hilarious? I just was thinking about that today. I thought that was so funny. I can't wait to tell my daughter. She's going to get a kick out of that, unless she's on here. But I think she's at family dinner with his family tonight, so she'll love that. Yeah. Your daughter's in the 1st grade. Oh, that's awesome. And all the kids love you. And when you go in tomorrow, they will all have stories for me. Don't you love that? It's like all the primary kids. There was like 25 kids, and they had to split us into 3 groups in the primary age that we had. The 6 turning 7 group. I also had them when they were 5 turning 6. And they had to split the group up because it was just too big. But all the kids were begging to be in my class. And all the kids in front of me in the other class would always turn around and talk to me. The kids over here on the other side always were coming over to talk to me. They all wanted to be in my class. And it was just such a compliment. It just tickles my heart because they're so adorable. And I just will take all of them home. Not for real, because that would be crazy. I'm not creepy. But it's so fun just to have all those little kids around you. It's such a compliment to you. It says so much about you. You just love when you get that feeling from them. So, well, tonight I'm gonna call it a night a little earlier. You could hear my little Miss Millie is fussing a little bit. So let's go say hello to her one more time before I say goodbye. I feel bad having to cut it short, but I really, but she's awake. So that's a good thing, right? And she's sitting over here just a talking. Hello, Millie Rose. Hello, sweetheart. Are you saying hello? Hello, baby girl. Hello, honey. Yeah, so she's getting big, and I'm going to take care of her. But I wanted to come in and check in with all of you and say hello. And that'll be it for tonight. So thanks so much for being here. It was good to see you all. Thank you, Christy. We've been enjoying her. Yes. She just made her appearance. Did you see her, Fran? I just showed her. I showed her twice. Yes, she's so alert. We caught her during the awake time. I'm so glad God gave her to me. I feel so blessed. Thank you, Trinity. Yeah, she is wide awake. And she's like, why aren't you feeding me? I'm awake. She's just looking around at everything. She's probably wondering why I have a phone in her face. But yeah, that's it. All right. Take care, everyone. It was good to talk to you. See you soon. Tomorrow. Oh, wait, tomorrow's Monday. 50-50 chance. I'll let you know if I'm going to be there tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Thank you.